What was that JUCO life like then? I mean, like
y'all seen Last Chance U, right?
We seen Last Chance U.
Okay, now imagine that, but like times 10. Because there's only so much they can show on Netflix.
Right.
So it's like, bro, it's like, yeah, the whole, as far as football out the mud is concerned, 100%. Like you're either going there because you don't have scholarships and you're trying to get some, or a lot of guys are coming from real big schools or already have all the offers that just got to get their grades right or got in trouble and got to get their degree real quick. Or it's a multitude of reasons, but it's not like, it's the best way it was the only way for me to get there. So it's like, that was the dream come true, because that leads to the next part of the story. Then I get to Memphis and I walk in, my roommate is a 6'7", 240-pound guy who also played quarterback that some of y'all might know as Paxton Lynch.
Yes, sir.
So
absolutely,
that's where it's like, then our class schedules were identical because we had the same degree. So they had us in all the same classes, same lift groups, same
y'all gonna live together.
And exactly.
Every minute of every day.
Mm-hmm. And so the beauty of it though is like, that was for the first time for me having to not like be the starter or feel like, since high school. So it was like came full circle. Like, damn, now I'm sitting behind a guy and, there's a picture of all of us together. That was our roommates in college. We called ourselves the 102 crew because that was our, the room number.
Okay, yeah.
What was y'all at Carpenter?
Yeah, Carpenter.
Y'all was at Carpenter?
Yep, 102.
Yeah.
And then we had moved off from Carpenter onto Kearney, which was like right off Highland.
Yeah.
So hold on.
So y'all ain't get like y'all on crib.
Yeah.
So how did you I guess end up at Memphis? Like did somebody reach out to you or
Yeah, so it was like I said, once the rankings had come out, as far as like me being number one, that was like, then I knew I had a lot more leverage. My coach had a lot more leverage. But shout out to Moses Harper, my offensive coordinator at Fort Scott. He was literally calling every single school and more so reaching out to them like, hey, I got a guy. If you watch his tape, you'll see. And then once there he is right there. Yeah, shout out to Coach Harper.
Hey,
and
shout out to you, Moses.
Coach Harper was like, man. We would play Kanye, old Kanye, like while we're breaking down film and like on the whiteboard. And it was like with Coach Harper, I knew I had full trust in my OC and I can go out there and let it loose. Like I don't have to second guess or think about him being in my ear or talking crazy. It's like, if I make a mistake, like, Coach, I'm watching the same game. I know that was a bad throw, but like, we still got a lot of game left. You know what I'm saying? Let's get back to, so it was a great relationship. And we had one of the top offenses in the nation. And so, I probably had about like 3 or 4 scholarships.
Where to?
I think I had Louisiana Tech, Memphis, Western Kentucky I was talking to.
Hey, Bowling Green, huh?
Yeah, it was like some smaller schools. And mind you, Memphis was coming off their first year with Fuente. So it was Coach Fuente. And the reason
we was rebuilding it there after that first year. That next year we went 10-3. But that first year was
3-9. I think it had flipped.
It flipped quick.
And when Coach Fuente was recruiting me, he was comparing me to Andy Dalton because he had coached at TCU and was saying that me and Andy had a lot of similarities as far as like our playing style. So I looked at the 3-9 and I had already beat out a guy who was 6'6" when, at other places or had shared time. So I wasn't even tripping over the fact that he was 6'7". I just saw 3-9 and I'm number one in the nation. And that's, to me, the type of confidence and mentality you have to have anywhere you go.
Right.
Especially as a quarterback.
Exactly. Right. So I'm like, I don't care who's on the roster. But then the first time I saw Pac throw, I call him Pac, but first time I saw him throw a slant, I was like, oh yeah, I'm not finna be I'm not gonna be touching the grass. So.
Not the first pass.
Not the first slant.
I'm trying to figure out timeline wise. Yeah. Like at that point too,
he had come off his redshirt freshman year, so he's going into his sophomore redshirt year, and that's a whole another year into the system. So like that's a big thing too. Is like it's not like I came in and I'm knowing the system for over a year, going into a spring where it's like, all right, you done had a whole summer season. Now you're going into, so it's like the learning, because you guys know too, is like,
playbook.
It's hard to play fast and play free if you're thinking.
Yeah.
And then you're too caught up in your own mind. And it's like, and then, that season was a really fun season. And then even the shirts and stuff that Paxton would wear, he would wear these like blessed shirts that I used to make. Yeah, so I was actually the one making them.
So hold tight. Those like the big long johns that was under.
Yeah, that we would hang and we would roll our jerseys up.
So that was you then.
I was making them, bro. And
shit!
And
I remember those.
I do remember that shit.
This is like pre-NIL, I was taking my $900 a month check and going and buying an LLC, knowing I only got $200 for the rest of the month. But like, let me get this LLC made so I can get these printed so that way when the money comes in for taxes or whatever, you know. But yeah, I ended up like getting a meeting with Nike when I was like while I was at Memphis still playing there. They had reached out to me.
One of the two Nike schools. So yeah,
they had a whole headquarters there. So I remember that was like so crazy because I was emailing a teacher saying like, I'm not going to be coming to class today because I'm meeting with the executive director of Nike, Willie Gregory. You know? And so I was like, but mind you, I'm still in my mind like a menace behind the scenes as far as like, you know, I'm hitting the gas. So I was pulling up to the Nike headquarters in like an old school purple Camaro. I'm rolling the windows down. The Zaw comes out. The Kodak's playing. And I'm like, can I ball? Can I live? You know?
Yeah.
So they're checking like, oh, let me make sure it's not a mistake. And I'm like, my name's right there, you know, I'm good for it. So, but then it ended up being a whole thing where it was like, they couldn't work with me because of conflict of interest.
Yep.
Since I had to do a religion and like beliefs. So, because that was
because of the whole blessed part.
Exactly.
That's what it was. There was a conflict of interest. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. And that's why I was like, that's such a harmless word though, where it's like, you know, you could be blessed regardless of. And then years later, they ended up releasing the hijab, which once again, I think everyone's entitled to have any religious belief that they want.
Right.
But for me, just as far as the business side of it is like, dang, so we couldn't do some shirts that I know if the whole country like had an option to wear. Yes, bro. Like nobody was putting words on the bottom side of it. I knew if I put it on the chest or the back, no one would see it. I knew if I put it on the sleeves, people cut their sleeves a lot of the time. Yeah. So I'm like, if I put it right there and we roll our jerseys up and we let that hang, then that's like all of us are a larger billboard or message. Because there was even games on Twitter where Bless Shirt was trending because it's like I had players from Ole Miss wearing, I had players at Florida State, and I was just slinging my like people that I knew shirts.
This man was on business time. He was on business
out there hustling. I mean, shit. Right. He out there trying to get to the money. He said, "I know I'm finna be the backup quarterback." He said that man Pack was out here throwing the rock around. Shit.
When you first came in, obviously you said, all right. When you saw him throwing that first sling, it's like, all right, it's over with. But just as far as during that second year coming off of the record that they had. You know, the offense that we had, I feel like the Anthony Miller come around that time too.
Yeah. And Ant had messed up his shoulder as well. So, like, I don't think Paxton even really got to play with Ant when Ant was Ant. Yeah. Like, Ant was still coming into form. This was still Moj Frazier, Tevin Jones, Keywan Malone, Alan Cross, Jake Elliott making, and then the defense, Bobby McCain, Tank Jakes. You know, the defense was special. So it's like we had Barry Odom as our defensive coordinator.
B.O.
And yeah, Justin Fuente and Coach Cornelson, some of those guys handling, Daryl Dickey, some of those guys handling the offense. But for me, it was just like, to me, that was the dream come true. To me, I was so far off even D1 that to me, being D1 was like making it to the league. And then having to go the prep school route, the JUCO route, like I had already seen, I had to wash my own laundry. There wasn't no loops where, you know, they'll put it in your
crazy
like little shit like that where I'm like, bro, I had to play with wet cleats because we couldn't get them dried off. They're soaked from the previous day. Blisters, who cares? You gotta get to it. I played with 2 separated shoulders that sophomore year. I separated my AC joint, left shoulder, second game of the season. And then my right one, the last game, luckily, if I had separated the right one, you can't throw with a separated AC joint. No. But they would tape that hoe down, the AC, they would tape it in place every practice, every game. And I would have to play on some type of pain pills or something, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And then Memphis is when I got on the gas.
You was teed up.
Because I had smoked a little bit of weed in high school, but I'm not gonna sit here and act like I smoked a little bit of weed.
I smoked a little bit of the marijuana.
Smoked a little bit of tree.
Just a little bit of Mary Jane.
Yeah,
But I got to Memphis, though.
yeah, Memphis. Yeah.
Memphis changed your life, though.
He got Memphis.
Memphis, man.
You hear me, man?
He got Memphis. Memphis,
Did you
man.
ever feel like during that, so like I want to go back to that season and like that 10-3 season was like, there was a feeling in a room that like y'all felt like, damn, bro, we about to turn this. Because like not for nothing,
Turn the school up.
when I was in Memphis, bro, you got to think, when I was there, I graduated 12. Who's ass?
Yeah.
When y'all came, like I'm out, we watching the game, bro. Like, did y'all have that feeling, that responsibility? Like, damn, bro, like we about to turn this, like this whole, we about to change this program around. Cause we ain't looked back since that season.
Yeah. I'm hip. That was the turning point. What's crazy though is when I got there, I only knew that because I had never been a part of all the other pain and hurt. I just was experiencing my own.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, once I got there, I was ready to win too.
Yeah.
Because it's like, bro, I done came out of so many seasons of losing that like I'm wanting to win and be a part of something amazing. I just didn't know it was going to have me as more so of riding co-pilot, riding shotgun.
Got you.
I wasn't in the driver's seat for it, but I rode shotgun and helped navigate and also realize how important it is to be a good teammate. Like, because once again, it's like with quarterback, only one guy plays. Sometimes they got two, but you know what they say. If you got two, you don't got one. Right. So it's like, I had enough of an entrepreneurial mindset watching the game where it's like, I would agree with the decisions that the coaches were making. I'm not going to sit here and look at me and Paxton Lynch, and especially at the collegiate level, how great he was playing and say that I should have been playing. But there were obviously, every guy's going to have days where it's like, okay, maybe today I feel like I practiced a little bit better than he did. Does that make me the better player? No. So I would agree when they would start him. And then at that point, you have to let go of any cancer or envy, or you got to let that go and let God.
Talk about it.
Yeah, because it's tough, you know? It's tough because obviously, especially when you're used to being that, then it's like you have to realize I was never competing against him. I was always competing against me. Like, Paxton's not what made me miss that open throw. Or what made me not switch that protection. You know, it's like we all, for a large part as athletes, need to. Now, don't get me wrong, there's politics and things that take place a lot of the time. But every time I was a backup in any situation, I would always just look in the mirror and be like, what could I have done or do better? And as we saw in the high school tape, I wasn't naturally gifted. I wasn't running no 4.5. I didn't have no crazy arm. I wasn't elite 11. I was just the guy where it's like, I'm going to show up every single day, even when no one's watching, and put in the work. Because I love this shit so much and I believe in it. And now that I've told people I'm going to go D1, if I don't, I'm a liar.
Respect it.
You said something there.
Yeah.
You said something there.
And control the controllables. That's all you can do.